Good evening and welcome to CYC News for the 28th of January 2018 and the 20th of Tulba 1734 AM. I'm Bishoy Basilius. In today's headlines, Pence says US embassy to open in Jerusalem by end of 2019. Syrian refugees found frozen near Lebanon border. Michigan state president resigns over scandal. Manhunt underway for suspects in shooting of Colorado deputy. A wreck found in Alabama could be the last American slave ship, and Australian Open heartbreak for Nadal continues. But first to Israel, where last Monday US Vice President Mike Pence confirmed to the Israeli parliament the US will open its embassy in Jerusalem by the end of 2019. This confirmed the controversial move is speeding up after officials earlier said it could take 3 to 4 years. Pence told Israeli lawmakers Jerusalem was the capital of the state of Israel, reiterating President Donald Trump's change of policy last month. At the same time, Trump announced plans to move the US embassy from Tel Aviv to the Holy City, upending 7 decades of US policy. Both Israelis and Palestinians consider Jerusalem as their capital, and Pence's address is likely to further rattle the Muslim world. Addressing the Israeli parliament, Pence said, "In the weeks ahead, our administration will advance its plan to open the United States Embassy in Jerusalem, and that United States Embassy will open before the end of next year. I am here to convey a simple message from the hearts of the American people. America stands with Israel." Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu heaped praise on Pence, thanking him and Trump for their support. He said, "The United States has no greater friend than Israel, and Israel has no greater friend than the United States of America." But not everyone in the Knesset was happy to see Pence. Arab lawmakers staged a protest at the start of his speech and scuffled with security officials before walking out. One of the lawmakers, Ayman Odeh, called Pence on Twitter a dangerous racist whose whole reason for being here is in order to damage any chance of peace. To Lebanon now, where at least 14 Syrian refugees who crossed into the country were found frozen on January 19 in a snowy mountainous area near the border. Lebanese civil defense officials have said the bodies were located on a smuggling route in the Al-Mazna area. Officials said 2 children were among the victims, with 3 other refugees hospitalized, according to Lebanon's state media agency. UNICEF called the deaths tragic. Gert Capillari, UNICEF's regional director for the Middle East, said, "Syrian people continue to risk their lives and the lives of their children in a desperate search for safety and shelter. Our thoughts are with the families who lost their loved ones, victims of a war that soon enters its 8th year." Capillari said the deaths of the 2 children were a reminder of the work that needs to be done, saying, "We have no excuse. We cannot continue failing the children, and people need to increase their assistance to the refugee children." To the United States now, and in the wake of the Larry Nassar sexual abuse scandal, Lou Anna Simon, president of Michigan State University, is resigning, according to a letter posted on the school's website. Nassar, a former longtime school employee at the university, was sentenced last Wednesday to up to 175 years in prison for the sexual assault of young female athletes. In the letter, Simon wrote, "Throughout my career, I have consistently and persistently spoken and worked on behalf of Team MSU. I have tried to make it not about me. I urge those who have supported my work to understand that I cannot make it about me now. Therefore, I am tendering my resignation as president according to the terms of my employment agreement." The chairman of the Board of Trustees said the group had accepted Simon's resignation and will continue to work out the details of her departure. Brian Breslin said in a statement posted below Simon's on the MSU website, "We greatly appreciate her integrity, her many contributions, and her willingness to continue to serve through transition." Simon had recently come under fire for what critics say is the mishandling of the Nassar scandal. They say the school's leader of 13 years had been tone deaf and needs to be among those held accountable for what happened, while Nassar was employed as a sports physician at MSU from 1997 to 2016. Simon expressed sympathy for Nassar's many victims. She said, "To the survivors, I can never say enough that I am so sorry that a trusted, renowned physician was really such an evil, evil person who inflicted such harm under the guise of medical treatment." Colorado deputy was shot and killed last Wednesday night after chasing the suspect of an assault call, according to the Adams County Sheriff's Office. One man has been arrested, but officials said a manhunt is underway for 2 other suspects. Deputies had been chasing the man in an assault in progress call at about 7 p.m. local time when they followed him behind a home in Thornton, Colorado, a city in the Denver metropolitan area. When deputies approached the man, he pulled out a handgun, firing at them and hitting a deputy in the chest. Adams County Special Deputy Amanda Overton said in a statement, "It is with incredible sadness that we report that our deputy was transported and pronounced dead at the hospital," the Adams County Sheriff's Office said in a statement. The deputy has not been identified. Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper tweeted, "Tonight we watched as the community was on edge and a sheriff's deputy was shot while responding to a call in Adams County. We are deeply saddened to learn that the deputy has died from injuries sustained in the shooting. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Adams County Sheriff's Office and the family and friends of the deputy killed." Authorities said the man ran away after the shooting but has since been arrested. Earlier this year, a deputy was shot and killed in another Denver suburb. Deputy Zachary Parrish died after a 37-year-old man barricaded himself in a bedroom and fired a rifle, striking several law enforcement officers, officials said. Continuing with some more American news, in a remote river delta on Alabama's Gulf Coast, partially hidden underwater and mud, may be the answer to a mystery that has baffled scholars for more than 150 years. If expert suspicions are correct, it's the long-lost wreck of the Clotilda, the last known ship to bring enslaved Africans into the United States. Its precise location has eluded archaeologists and historians since the vessel was burned in 1860 by slavers seeking to hide evidence of their illegal trafficking. But after the wreck was recently exposed by unusually low tides, reporter Ben Raines discovered its remains near the city of Mobile and has taken the first step towards verifying its authenticity. Gregory Cook, assistant professor of maritime archaeology at the University of West Florida, said, "We did not see anything on the site that would say it's not the Clotilda." Raines brought Cook and several other experts to examine the wreck, and all agreed that its remains match historical records of the ship. Cook also said, "We think it's a very compelling possibility that the wreck could be the Clotilda, but we cannot positively identify it at this point." And in sport, Rafael Nadal has often had the best and worst of times at the Australian Open. 2018 can be classified in the latter category. Having lifted the trophy in 2009, the Spaniard entered this year's tournament once again bidding to become the first man in the Open era to win each of the majors twice. Perhaps it is not meant to be for one of tennis' greatest ever players, whose career has been punctuated by injury. The injury curse at Melbourne Park struck Nadal again on Tuesday when he was forced to retire against Marin Cilic with an upper right leg injury in the 5th set of their quarterfinal. The frustrated world number 1 exited to give the 6th-ranked Cilic a 3-6, 6-3, 6-7, 6-2, 2-love victory in front of a stunned, disappointed crowd at Rod Laver Arena. And that's all for CYC News. A reminder that you can watch this news bulletin again throughout the week on YouTube. I'm Bishoy Basilius from the CYC studios in Sydney, Australia. Have a good night.